the people of Camden deprived themselves of that.
Camden, New South Wales, a small semi-rural town on Sydney's southwestern outskirts.
Deprived themselves of the opportunity to show true Australian hospitality.
Made world news in 2007 when councillors voted to reject the building of an Islamic school in the town's outlying areas. It led many around the nation to label Camden a racist town and to accuse its councillors of bowing to populism.
Like anyone to do it, and as you come down, have a look where it would have gone, and you look across the floodplains to Camden. That's a view I'd always like.
That decision was upheld last year by the Land and Environment Court, who ruled that a school would detract from Camden's rural heritage, but comments made recently by councillors have raised serious questions over the validity of that decision.
Camden lost its rural identity, I believe, quite some time back.
Councillor Fennell doesn't stop there. In fact, he suggests that a school might be the least of Camden's worries.
I think we'll be looking at a city here the size of Canberra.
The school was to be built on the intersection of Burragarang Road and Corridor Road, an intersection described by councillors as a goat track. In addition to the Land and Environment Court's belief that a school in this area would not be in keeping with a rural identity even council admits is non-existent, local officials cited poor traffic and a lack of parking area as reasons why the school couldn't go ahead. But in perhaps the most blatant display of double standards, just months after the Islamic school saga died down, a drive-through McDonald's franchise was approved for construction in the main street, a decision causing some in the Muslim community to feel victims of deep-seated prejudice.
I don't know how much of a rural heritage, how much that adds to the rural heritage. I don't know how much that adds to the substance of the nutrition as well.
It's not only officials who seem to think Camden's behaviour is peculiar.
I would have preferred the McDonald's not to come. I guess it was showing that it was no longer the rural town that we were still believing that we were.
How keen council was to secure McDonald's is evident in the words of its mayor.
So what we did was we tried to get the proprietors, McDonald's, to make the building have a look and feel different to their existing ones, and we think they've done a good job.
No such negotiations were made with the Qu'ranic Society on an issue which Chris Patterson says there's no room for discussion.
Look, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered what type of school, Catholic, state school, Anglican, Islamic, bad site.
Just how bad that site is a topic for serious debate. Behind me are the buildings of Camden High School, only a few years old and one of the many new projects now encroaching on the once rural land that the Qu'ranic Society attempted to build its school on. In fact, just down this road, Corridor Road, is where the site sits of the proposed Islamic college. In fact, only 700 metres separates the two sites on the exact same stretch of road, and it doesn't stop there. This brand new project was completed last year as an extension of the Carrington Retirement Village. Even a local airport was built on land once devoted to dairy farming. It begs the question of why a school was rejected on land which has no hope of maintaining its rural feel.
Yes, it's all going to be rural land that's subdivided. There's no reclaimed land, there's nothing.
That subdivision has already begun in earnest. In fact, it's not long before estimates put Camden's population at 250,000.
If you take the word Muslim out, if this was a Christian school, so many people would have been euphoric over it. Oh, this is a wonderful development for the area.
And the victimisation that Mr Trad is talking about doesn't just exist at the top.
I'm happy for Islamic schools to be built, but I did find it was a bit strange that they chose this site because we actually don't have an Islamic community here.
This just shows the level of double standards that they have. One standard for Muslims and another standard for everything else.